Good afternoon, everyone. I am delighted to welcome you to the 2020 Presidential Awards for Community Multicultural Enrichment. Though we are indeed in strange and difficult times, we are grateful for the opportunity to join with our community virtually to recognize the incredible work of our colleagues. Pacme celebrates the members of the VCU community who go beyond the call of duty in supporting and promoting our greatest asset, our people who learn, create, research, heal, live, and work at VCU. Diversity and inclusion are hallmarks of our institution and have continuously propelled us toward excellence. Pacme represents VCU's core mission and culture of fostering a climate of excellence, diversity, and inclusion for all, and recognizes those individuals and organizations that go the extra mile to promote this mission. Now in its 26th year, Pacme was established by President Emeritus Dr. Eugene Trani to recognize and encourage activities that promote civility, build community, establish effective cross-cultural initiatives, and advocate equity and inclusion within the university. Under President Michael Rao, we have expanded our efforts to recognize leaders who work toward diversity and inclusion and persist in the building a climate and culture that takes strategic action to achieve equity. Today, we honor the winners of this year's Pacme for their commitment and substantive action toward actualizing VCU's key goal of diversity driving excellence. In keeping with that commitment, this year we add to our list of honorees the recipients of the Model of Inclusive Excellence Awards, conferred on academic and administrative units that achieve distinction in cultivating a diverse and inclusive environment for its faculty and staff. Without any further ado, let's get started. It is my pleasure to introduce our president, who leads our university with passion, knowledge, and a true commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion for all. This has been never more evident than in these days as our university pivots in profound ways while holding strong to the values that are at the heart of our community. Join me in welcoming President Michael Rao. Dr. Rao?
Excellent. Thank you so much, Archana. I also want to say thank you to Ashir, our Vice President. I want to thank Flo. I want to thank Shanna, Corey, and I also want to recognize that in our audience today, we have several of our vice presidents and we have several of our deans, and I'm very honored and pleased that all of you are here. If you'll just raise your hands and let us see which boxes you're in. Thank you very much for being here. And most of all, I want to thank the members of the Pacme Selection Committee. Very grateful to you for the work that you're doing to really promote this and to try and do a good job of recruiting people by identifying who's doing what. And in a community like ours, it's not particularly easy to know who is doing what, but there is a lot of really great work going on out there, a tremendous amount of leadership. And of course, most importantly, I want to say congratulations to our 2020 Pacme Award winners. And we'll get to them in just a second, or it'll be more than a second, but a minute or two. I'm really grateful to have this opportunity to celebrate the members of our VC community who are so dedicated to equity, access, and inclusion. Remember that inclusion really on our part takes a lot of leadership, and that's part of what we're recognizing is the leadership of the folks in our community who really do help us to advance what we're all trying to talk about in our vision. So I often feel frustrated because I'm one person and I can't be on all of the places that I want to be to help advance inclusion. But part of why we're recognizing our colleagues and other leaders is because it's so important that we do take the time to say, these are people that inclusion really make a difference and move us forward in various areas and in important ways that only they can move us forward. And they inspire us, they involve us, and They are really important to our colleagues and our classmates. They see human potential, and they provide opportunities for everyone to be successful. And I mean everyone. They're committed to the success of all human beings. We can learn so much from each other, and most certainly can learn so much from the people who will be recognizing today. We benefit from not only their leadership, but also from their compassion and their love of humanity. This is really, really important because we all have different personalities, and some people's personalities play out in some ways in society and are helpful to folks in very quiet ways. And then there are others who just have that gift, have that ability to be very verbal and to be very sensitive and perceptive about other people, and know how to bring them in and help them to get to the same level of confidence that so many people that we may be recognizing today have. Tremendous thoughtfulness and tenacity. They create classroom and all of our other learning environments in ways that are just so important for VCU to be what it is. We talk a lot about what VCU is, but you know, the authentication and the actualization of it really has to play out in our people, and that's why we're taking the time to recognize so many of you today. The people we're talking about build relationships to help educate and provide the sometimes overlooked but necessary healthcare that we have to provide to all Virginians. And I also think that our group that we're recognizing today, and those that we've recognized over the years, they realize that we have a way to go. We're behind as a society, and really recognizing and understanding that there is a gap, right, between all of our humanity, and including in this country and certainly in our city, and what we see in terms of people who are in leadership and in other roles. And so it's really important for us to take the time to do that. Our vision is that all of our environments will ultimately resemble the world and the people whose lives we're trying to lift. The people we educate, the people we take care of, the people who are at the center of a lot of our research agendas, and without question, the people who benefit from a lot of the creativity that we do at VCU. So this has been an interesting time. It's been a tough time, but I want you to know that in a lot of the work that we're doing right now, if I play the tapes back, even though it is all becoming just such a rapid fire set of things that I'm doing right now, one thing after another. If I think about the Congress members that I've talked with, and I talk to them all the time, and by the way, they've been so accessible. Our two senators also super accessible. All of our state lawmakers, very accessible, including the governor, wonderfully helpful in so many ways, willing to listen. And I got to tell you, so that's one group. And of course, I'm talking with donors, Jay knows, as well, as much as I possibly can, encouraging them to continue to step up, talking with faculty, talking with staff, talking with healthcare workers. And, you know, the theme in everything I'm saying, and most importantly, the theme in all the things that I'm advocating, it's all about the same things that we're talking about today. So with regard to education, you know, it's taking information that Ashir gives me daily from the pulse surveys that basically give us a very clear sense of why we're here and the conditions and situations that our students face. The most important influence on me in terms of the decision that I made earlier this week to announce that we are going to make every effort to come back here in the fall is listening to students who say, VCU is my home now. VCU became that pathway that was created for me to give me a chance to really succeed in ways that I could never have imagined if I hadn't come to VCU and if I'm not at VCU. They want to be at VCU, and of course we have to make sure that that's safe. And so then I think about the other side. You know, I've been pushing very hard, and I'm grateful to the governor for his announcement yesterday that we will be able to return in the healthcare context on May 1st to the elective surgeries and other ways in which we take care of our patients. the same advocacy and the same concerns. The concerns are, of course, that coronavirus is a short-term leadership issue, and we have put all of our energies toward that here in this hospital. There's no question about it. And we will continue to do that. It is a very serious matter. But you know what's just as serious? The patients we always see. The patients we always see who are disproportionately affected by cardiovascular disease, by cancer, by the kinds of metabolic disorders that create havoc on their bodies and their systems, the behavioral disorders that they deal with disproportionately. And so I guess it's just important for you to know that all of our advocacy is around including people who don't have voices, including people who we are proud to take care of, including people who don't have as much influence, and we are that influence. And that's why VCU is so important, not to Richmond, to Virginia, but really to this nation, because we represent what we see coming in the future of our population. Much more diversity, and without question, the need for much more inclusion of the people who are not included in society today. So that's why this is such an important gathering for us, and it's why I really am honored to take the time to recognize all of you who deserve to be recognized. So I'm so sorry I've gone so far off script, Archana, but thank you for indulging me a bit.
Thank you, Dr. Rao. Thank you for your inspiring remarks, for your incredible leadership during this time, and for taking the time to be with us live. I know there's a lot on your plate. Celebrating the Pacme Awards is such a wonderful occasion each year because it represents something special about VCU and our community. I'd like to acknowledge the 2020 Pacme Selection Committee. Naheen Alam, Christopher Brooks, Valerie Carter, Nancy Jallo, Barbara Payton, Ruben Rodriguez, and our administrative support, Flo Johnson. It was truly a pleasure to chair such a wonderful committee. Thank you all for the critical role you play, not only in screening the nominations for many outstanding candidates, but for your individual examples of leadership and support for diversity, excellence, and inclusion at VCU. And I would like to give a very special shout out to the Pacme Planning Committee, Corey Boone, Shanna Brandt, and Flo Jansen for stepping up and pulling together this incredible virtual event. And now, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce our presenter, a person who has relentlessly committed to building a sustainable infrastructure for transformative inclusion at VCU. The Vice President of the Office of Institutional Equity, Effectiveness, and Success, and the Director of the Institute for Inclusion, Inquiry, and Innovation, Dr. Ashir Nassim. Dr. Nassim?
Thank you, Dr. Pathak, and thank you, President Rao, for the vital role that you play at VCU. Now, without further ado, let's proceed in recognizing the very talented and committed individuals who have made such a difference at VCU, our 2020 Pacme Award winners. The winner of the 2020 Presidential Award for Community Multicultural Enrichment for Academic and Administrative Leadership is Dr. Tegwin Brickhouse. Dr. Brickhouse works in VCU School of Dentistry and serves as chair for the Department of Dental, Public Health, and Policy, and as director of the Oral Health Services Research Corps for iCubed. Dr. Brickhouse was nominated for this honor by Dean David Surratt, the Associate Vice President for Faculty Affairs and the Dean of the School of Dentistry. Dean Surratt, will you share your remarks with us today?
Thank you, Ashir, and thank you all. Dr. Tegwin Brickhouse embodies all that the Pacme Award stands for. She is dedicated to multicultural inclusion, community problem solving, and inclusion across all lines within and outside of the university and even beyond. For example, amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, all dental clinics closed throughout our community to all but emergency care. Marginalized patients now face more barriers to dental care than ever, which puts their well-being at risk as oral health is closely tied to outcomes in diabetes, cancer, HIV, and many other diseases. During this healthcare crisis, Dr. Brickhouse is leading efforts through the iCubed Oral Health Corps to work with community partners such as Glen Lea Elementary and the crossover healthcare ministries to close the gap in dental disparities. Her commitment to oral health for all includes research and policy development, establishment of opportunities for students and community members to improve the dental care of children and vulnerable adults, and transdisciplinary initiatives that have elevated the university's community presence and promoted inclusivity. I might also add that during this time, she's been our chief epidemiologist here at the School of Dentistry, keeping us abreast of the conditions in Virginia and hopefully leading us back into dental care very shortly at the School of Dentistry. I couldn't be more proud of Dr. Brickhouse, what she has accomplished, and the many roles she plays at VCU School of Dentistry. As a leader by example, Peg Brickhouse is improving lives and saving lives. Thank you to the committee and the committee chair. Thank you, VCU, and thank you, President.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Dr. Brickhouse.
Thank you. I'd like to thank both you and Dr. Surratt for all your support with the iCubed Oral Health Corps and our work in dental public health. It has brought faculty and students from across VCU to work with the community to address oral health equity and its impact on overall health, so which is especially critical at this time. I'd also like to thank the oral health care faculty and the students and our community partner, the Henrico Education Foundation, and specifically Marcy Good, who is the heart of their program at Glenlee Elementary. This virtual experience, I guess, is the first time in my 15 years at VCU that I've been able to share something like this with my family. So I'd like to shout out to all them watching in Virginia, Nebraska, Oregon, North Carolina. Thanks for all your support, and especially my husband, Todd, and my daughters, Kara and May.
Thank you so much, Dr. Brickhouse, Dean Surratt, and I'm going to give you a virtual applause using my reaction button at the bottom of my screen. And you can see me doing this too, like a little seal. All right. Our next award is the Faculty Award. Before I begin my introduction, I'd like to share that this category has co-winners this year. One of the winners of the 2020 Presidential Award for Community Multicultural Enrichment for Faculty is Dr. Miriam Al-Kazimi. Dr. Al-Kazimi works in the VCU Richard T. Robertson School of Media and Culture as an assistant professor of public relations. Her work is at the intersection of media studies and Middle Eastern studies. She was nominated for this honor by Dr. Marcus Messner. Dr. Marcus Messner is professor of journalism and the interim director of the Richard T. Robertson School of Media and Culture. Dr. Messner, will you please share your remarks with us today?
Thank you so much. In the 2 years that Dr. Miriam Al-Kazimi has been with us in the Robertson School of Media and Culture, she's made an exceptional contribution in building cross-cultural understanding between students, colleagues, and our community. Dr. Al-Kazimi is a prolific and prominent scholar, and her heart is truly engaged with her students, fostering greater understanding between Middle Eastern and Western cultures. From her office, we can frequently hear her when she has spirited discussions with her students, peppering them with questions and engaging them in lively scholarly discussions. Dr. Al-Kazimi creates an environment in her classes through which difficult topics of differences in politics, religion, and social norms can be openly discussed. She developed a new undergraduate course for us titled International Media Coverage, the Middle East. The thought-provoking course highlights Muslim, Arab, and global media perspectives. And her classroom is a space of true cross-cultural learning, as many of her students here at VCU had never been exposed to most of the material that she introduces them to. In addition, Dr. Al-Kazimi meets one-on-one with many Saudi Arabian doctoral students from across VCU. She provides practical information and a listening ear about the challenging facing foreign students at this particular moment in our political and cultural landscape. She offers enthusiastic encouragement to integrate and participate in campus life. Through these exemplary efforts, Dr. Al-Kazimi builds meaningful bridges between diverse multicultural individuals and groups at VCU. Her outreach and advocacy beyond VCU represents a model of inclusive excellence for others. Dear Miriam, you are a most deserving recipient of the Presidential Award for Community Multicultural Enrichment for Faculty. Congratulations, and we are also very proud of you in the Robertson School.
Congratulations. Dr. Al-Kazimi?
Thank you very much. Thank you for selecting me for the award in 2020. The Pacme is designed to cultivate a diverse and inclusive environment at VCU, and I am so happy to be at a university that celebrates community. I grew up in what I now call in my research vastly different cultures. My family is watching from Kuwait, a small multicultural country in the Middle East. In my research, I generate knowledge on topics I've always wondered about in a systematic way that we call the scientific method. When I was learning about it in college, the narrative was that it doesn't matter what your background is in science and anyone can study and work hard to be a doctor. I was surprised by how little people mention the effect of the environment, which we sometimes call culture. Universities do not just give all people equal opportunities to learn. That misses the point. Universities generate creativity in the air by bringing people together and introducing the tools with which we can explore our differences. They innovate through a series of respectful conversations that appreciate and celebrate diversity most of the time. At VCU, I've been struck by the culture because of the encouragement and support that I've received. I am humbled to receive this award and grateful to be a part of a community where I can learn others' likes and dislikes, providing logic and value that expands my view of the world. I would like to thank the Robertson School, VCU, and Al-Kazmi family, as well as any friend across the world who's ever shared a difference with me, especially those watching. Elie Wiesel, who once said, "The opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference," also said that the opposite of faith is not heresy, it's indifference. Going forward, I hope passionate classroom debates, moments of silence after hearing a challenging or painful narrative, emails after class reinforcing or challenging perspectives, office hours filled with conversations about how to fill the gap between our family backgrounds and our future aspirations. May these moments remind us how rewarding it is to struggle and actively engage with difference in a caring and productive way that's sensitive to even those who might be outnumbered among us. For that's how every one of us co-creates the culture here at VCU. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, and a virtual hand to you as well. The next winner of the 2020 Pacme Award for faculty is Stavara Clark. Stavara Clark serves as an assistant professor in teaching and is the online program coordinator for the MSW program in the School of Social Work. She was nominated for this honor by Dr. Sarah Price, Associate Dean for Faculty Development and Professor of the School of Social Work. Dr. Price, will you please share your remarks with us today?
On behalf of my colleagues in the School of Social Work, it is my honor to introduce and recognize Stavara today. Stavara has been an integral part of our School of Social Work team since 2013, first as a student success advisor, and then as assistant professor in teaching within the Office of Field Education, in addition to her current role with the as the online MSW program coordinator. And I mention all these roles because as soon as this award was announced, Stavara, your colleagues in all three of those areas jumped forward to support your nomination. And they were so enthusiastic to nominate you because you embody all of what this Pacme Award is truly about. Stavara, you're truly student-centered, community-minded, inclusive, excellence-focused faculty member. As a double alum of our BSW and MSW programs, you know VCU Schools of Social Work from multiple perspectives. For those of us that know Stavara, we know that whether she is advocating for non-traditional students who are balancing work, life, and learning, ensuring strengths-based representation of identity in our online course development materials, in inspiring her faculty colleagues to find new ways to present course content related to diversity and social justice in engaging and interactive ways, or modeling for our students ways to confront and promote equity and justice in all facets of our common life. Stavara, you lead by example. She embodies the core social work values of service, social justice, dignity and worth of a person, the importance of human relationships, integrity, and competence in all that she does. And she does all this, by the way, while pursuing her own doctoral education in the School of Education here at VCU and parenting a smart and sensational young daughter who will no doubt mirror her mother's contributions to the world. So we're grateful for you, Stavara, and all you do to make the School of Social Work and VCU a more inclusive, welcoming, and vibrant multicultural community. And I'm grateful to have you as my colleague and delighted to present you with this well-deserved honor today.
And we're so delighted to hear you speak, Professor Clark.
Thank you, Sarah, for your kind words and for leading the nomination process for the School of Social Work. And many thanks to my amazing colleagues who contributed their heartfelt thoughts for my nomination. You know, it's such an honor to receive a prestigious award and to have my efforts recognized, not only by my colleagues, but the entire university community. And I firmly believe that compassionate communication is the soul of a collaboratively competent community culture. And I've incorporated these sentiments into my teaching and leadership philosophy. I want to extend my sincerest gratitude to each and every student I've had the pleasure of sharing a classroom with or an advising session, and every colleague who has helped grow me in my role here at VCU. You know, having my efforts recognized by receiving this award highlights the importance for me to continue advocating for, learning with, and learning from our students. And last, but certainly not least, I want to thank my family, my friends who are all watching live on this stream, my mentors, and especially my daughter who's sitting right beside me for supporting me in every facet of my work. And so I'm just really humbled to receive this award. So thank you so much, Sarah, for leading that process for the School of Social Work.
Thank you. A wonderful round of applause for both of you. And congratulations, Professor Clark. The winner of the 2020 Pacme Award for Staff is Henry Lewis. Henry Lewis works in the College of Health Professions as the Director of Recruitment and Student Programs. He was nominated for this honor by Dr. Angela Duncan, Associate Dean for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion in the College of Health Professions. Dr. Duncan, will you please share your remarks with us today?
It is my pleasure. I first want to say thank you for all of you who put this together. I also want to thank several who have helped with the nominations for Henry. Mr. Corey Boone, who gathered all of our documents, Dr. Kevin Harris, Mr. Carlton Good, Ms. Sarah Lorich, and Dr. Philip Duncan, medical doctor. And so it is my pleasure to introduce to some and present to others, Mr. Henry W. Lewis III. Henry currently serves as the Director of Recruitment and Student Programs for our college. And I've known Henry for several years, having worked with him in my previous position as the Assistant Dean for Students. In his role as pre-professional and pre-health advisor, Henry hosted several allied health professions interest sessions for high school students and college students. And it is during this time that I witnessed Henry's passion for recruiting and retaining students from underrepresented backgrounds for careers in our health professions. He's well respected by his former advising colleagues who say Henry isn't just impacting VCU, but he has co-written and published in the National Association of Advisors of Health Professions. That's a nationally and well-respected organization and publication. His work highlights and capitalizes using the science of data analytics to identify students who are struggling academically. African-American males have been identified as a severely underrepresented group entering medical professions. And Henry has made himself available to his other advising colleagues to help mentor young men of color to ensure they would succeed in the sciences and enter the health profession of their choice. He identified physicians of color in the community and was able to help secure shadowing and medical scribe opportunities so that these students were prepared to not only apply, but be accepted into graduate and health professional schools. So when the College of Health Professions needed to expand and focus on student recruitment and retention from our underrepresented groups, Henry was the most likely choice. And Immediately, he developed a strategic recruitment plan that targeted the admission and retention of underrepresented minority students. And most often, sometimes allied health is overlooked for other medical professions. And so he hosted events where he would bring the advisors in, bring the parents in, and he's done this collaboratively with our health professions department. He visits historically Black colleges and predominantly white institutions that focus on preparing students for health careers. And the College of Health Professions has benefited from the results of his collaborative work. Henry continues to work tirelessly in his mentorship and support of all students, but especially with underrepresented groups. As stated by Dr. Kevin Harris, who's the Associate Vice President for Strategic Initiatives and Engagement, Henry is a change agent and a breath of fresh air. Packed in that quiet, unassuming demeanor is an explosive mix of talent, integrity, inclusivity, and professionalism. And it's the core of VCU's values. The CHP is fortunate to have you, Henry. Thank you for all that you do and for who you are.
Congratulations, Henry. You have the podium.
Thank you, Dr. Duncan. I'm extremely honored to receive the Staff Award for Pacme this year. I'm very proud and honored by all of the work that I've done, but particularly the work that I've done with Black Men in Medicine. Then a campaign, now a student organization. Almost 5 years ago, I crafted it. I had no idea it would become what it has become today. It has helped serve a community that has experienced many successes in healthcare, but historically has been denied many opportunities in the noblest professions. I'm so proud that everyone involved, from my students to my colleagues, have helped transform Black Men in Medicine into a movement that has resulted in 11 acceptances into medical school, 6 into post-baccalaureate and master's programs in biomedical sciences, 3 into physical therapy school, 2 into pharmacy school, 2 into physician assistant school, and 1 into a PhD program, all by future Black male healthcare leaders who are graduates of VCU. That is Black male excellence right there. To my students who are watching this ceremony today, I congratulate you for working hard, never giving up when being discouraged by others, and as my father always says, keeping your eye on the prize. I like to use the rest of my time to thank the many people who really have made this award possible for me. Thank you to the selection committee. I know you had incredible nominees this year, so I'm honored to have been selected as a recipient. Thank you to my nominators, Dr. Angela Duncan, Philip Duncan, Kevin Harris, the future doctors Corey Boone, Sarah Cahoot, and Carlton Good. You all have been excellent contributors to my work, and I'm so glad to call you colleagues, friends, mentors, and most importantly, team members. Additionally, thank you to my nominators from previous Pacme nominations, Dr. Alexander Tartaglia, my former student and future medical doctor, Justin Thomas, who is a success story in Black Men in Medicine, as well as Paris Prince. A special thanks to Dr. Melinda Anderson and Shawana Isom Payne. 6 years ago, they gave me the opportunity to work at VCU, and my life has changed completely since then, and I'm so thankful to them for that. And thank you to all of my colleagues at the VCU Monroe Park campus, MCV campus, and the medical community who have been huge contributors, from advising to pipeline programs to mentorship and shadowing. The success of all the work that I've done for these diverse students would not be possible without your hard work and dedication. Lastly, I'd like to thank my family, especially my grandparents and my parents, Henry and Elaine Lewis. I stand on the shoulders of generations of servant leaders. My family has been my first and best role model what it means to serve the community. The work I have done and continue to do is a result of my lessons learned from them. The Pacme Staff Award is dedicated to them, and I am living my family's legacy. Thank you.
Congratulations. And for all those who may be on the panel, if we can just ask politely that if you can mute yourselves, that would be great. So thank you and congratulations to Henry Lewis and the College of Health Professions as well. It is now my pleasure to present the winner of the 2020 Pacme Award for Students, Calvin Hall. Calvin Hall is a doctoral student studying social psychology in the College of Humanities and Sciences. They were nominated for this honor by Dr. Faye Belgrade, University Professor of Health in social psychology and the College of Humanities and Sciences. Dr. Belgrave, would you please share your remarks with us today?
Thank you very much. I was pleased to nominate Calvin Hall for the Student Pacme Award. Calvin's experiences and volunteer work make them a deserving recipient. Calvin is a graduate student in our health psychology program and about to defend their dissertation proposal next week. They has worked with me as a research assistant or evaluator on an HIV prevention project for emerging African American adults for over 3 years. Since being at VCU, Calvin has demonstrated exemplary contributions in addressing disparities within vulnerable populations. Their volunteer work and service have included 1, HIV prevention, education, and awareness at VCU, Virginia Union, faith-based organizations, and other organizations within the local Richmond metro area. 2, providing support for individuals affected by sexual and domestic violence. 3, educating and advocating for equity among LGBTQI+ individuals. And 4, supporting African American male college students in academic success. Calvin has worked closely with many underrepresented ethnic minority undergraduate students, teaching them how to conduct research, how to implement evidence-based interventions, and how to be culturally competent when working with the local community. They has been a strong contributor to the success of the College of Humanities and Sciences African American Male Initiative by helping to organize the annual summit activities and just helping out as needed. Kevin has also engaged with several community partners, including NIA and Help Brigade in HIV prevention work, and the Virginia Sexual and Domestic Violence Action Alliance by conducting training related to stopping sexual violence. And this is just a couple of the many community organizations Kevin has worked with. And this is just a small snapshot of Kevin's many contributions.
Thank you, Dr. Belgrave. Calvin.
First off, thank you, Dr. Belgrave, and thank you all for allowing me to have this award. So when I came to VCU in 2011, as a first-year student, as an 18-year-old, I was very scared, to be completely honest with you. I didn't really know what the college experience was gonna do for me. I joined a couple clubs, started working at the Well, worked at advising for about 3 years as well. And through doing those things, I really started to appreciate the VCU community. But not just the VCU community, as the Richmond community as well. And I do have to say that through receiving this award, it really does make me feel great that a lot of the work that I've been doing has been appreciated by my university. But I do want to say there's a huge caveat to the fact that I couldn't have done this alone, right? Dr. Belgrave in particular has been amazing, and I can never thank her enough for all the things that she's done for me. I had a mentor, an undergrad named Linda Hancock, who used to run the Well. She's the executive director of the Well. And the day that I graduated, she took me into the village and she said, Calvin, in your life, you will meet people who are your angels. These are the people who will support you through everything, the people who will appreciate you when no one else will. And I have to say that I've had a lot of angels. Dr. Belgrave, Linda Hancock, my other advisor, Dr. Christina Hood, even Gail McGonigal, who gave me a job when I was when I needed a job in undergraduate study. Like, all these people have helped me, and I just want to say thank you to them for this.
Thank you, Calvin. And I think a lot of us here today can echo those remarks about having these mentors with us today. So thank you so much for sharing that. In addition to the traditional Pacme categories, this year, the Office of Institutional Equity, Effectiveness, and Success also confers the Model of Inclusive Excellence Award. This award is conferred to administrative and academic units that achieve distinction in cultivating a diverse and inclusive environment for its faculty and staff. 25 major divisions and offices, colleges, and schools are evaluated on a biennial basis using assessment and performance data collected from multiple university sources and compiled into 3 index measures: the Diversity Index, the Inclusion Index, and Engagement Index. Administrative and academic units designated as models of inclusive excellence are ranked based on in relation to their peers on an overall score. It is now my pleasure to present the winner of the 2020 Model of Inclusive Excellence Administrative Award, Development and Alumni Relations. Jay Davenport, Vice President of Development and Alumni Relations, will accept this award. Jay, we'll love to hear your remarks today.
Well, thank you very much. And first of all, let me say that this is an incredible honor for our unit to receive this award. When I know all of the great things that are happening across the entire campus, it is humbling to think that what we're doing has been recognized at this level. And so I know there are wonderful things happening across the entire campus. But on behalf of our 245 members of DAR, I want to humbly accept this award. I also want to say that as the outward-facing group that helps our 200,000 alumni and then all of our donors and supporters of the institution, we have a special obligation to make certain that inclusive excellence is at the heart of everything that we do. And so as we go out and share the ideas that you are bringing to us, the projects and the priorities, it is quite exhilarating to take those ideas and share them and help VCU in all the ways that we are able to as we go forward. We have a special obligation to do that, and I think that's one of the things that our team promotes and takes a special obligation to as well. There's a few people that I want to highlight because we have been working on these kind of projects for some time. Years ago, Samantha Mars, who's our Senior Associate Vice President, started us down the path of looking at inclusive excellence in all things we do. And so I want to especially acknowledge her because without her leadership, we would not be in the position to even talk about some of these issues, more or less receive this kind of award. Also, our Director of Talent Management in DAR, Julia Eskew, she has been instrumental in helping us go through a core values and core purpose exercise, which is really highlighted for the entire team that inclusive excellence is a hallmark of everything we do. And so it is a cornerstone of what we look for in our promotion of leaders in our organization, and then also whom we hire to be part of our team. And then finally, I want to thank our integration team, because as you all know, having these lofty values and goals is one thing, but implementing them and making them a permanent part of our ethos is really the most important piece. And so to the integration team who is ongoing and thinking of ways that we can embed this philosophy into everything that we do, I want to thank you all for everything that you're doing to help DAR as well. And finally, I want to say, and I've shared this with Dr. Nassim as well, while this is truly an honor and we are very, very appreciative, we know we are nowhere near where we need to be. And so while we are very, very humbled in accepting this award, we will continue to work very, very diligently to make certain that inclusive excellence is the hallmark of everything that we do in development and alumni relations. So on behalf of our entire unit, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jay, and congratulations again to you, your executive leadership team, and all of the staff in development and alumni relations. It is now my pleasure to present the winner of the 2020 Pacme Award, or Model of Inclusive Excellence Academic Award, to the School of Pharmacy. Dean Joseph DePiro will accept this award on behalf of the School of Pharmacy. Dean DePiro, please share your remarks with us today.
Thank you, Dr. Nassim. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of the School of Pharmacy, I'm pleased and honored to accept this award. At the School of Pharmacy, we're all committed to making our environment open and supportive of all those who work and study here. Through a variety of actions, we've been opening up communication, expanding inclusion, and recognizing the contributions of all those in our school. The Inclusive Excellence Award process has been very informative to us, validating what we've been doing to enhance our school environment and demonstrating what we still need to do to improve. So I want to thank you again for this recognition to the School of Pharmacy.
Thank you, Joe, and congratulations again to the School of Pharmacy for a job well done. Virtual claps, seal claps all around. And now it's my distinct pleasure to present the winner of the Capstone Pacme Award, the Reese Melton Award. This award recognizes one of our Pacme Award recipients for exemplary service promoting cross-cultural relations. Longer tradition at VCU, the Reese Melton Award is named for two pathfinders in our institution's history who dared to reach across the racial divide during less enlightened times. Dr. Walter J. Reese fled Nazi Germany during World War II, bringing with him a deep-seated belief in the equality of all people. He served as professor of neurology and psychiatry at the medical center, championing the rights of African-American employees during the time of segregation, when it was unpopular to do so. One of these employees was Mr. Herman Melton, who worked at the medical center for more than 50 years. For much of that time, he assisted Dr. Reese in his research, trained other technicians, and was a valuable resource to medical students. We continue the Reese Melton Award because it reminds us of these courageous individuals who did much to create a culture in which today we now celebrate, and a culture in which we now celebrate diversity and inclusion. Please join me in congratulating the winner of the 2020 Reese Melton Award, Henry Lewis. Henry is the first staff recipient of the Reese Melton Award, so quite a significant accomplishment. Henry?
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I'm honored again to receive another prestigious award. Again, the work that I do is just living my family's legacy, and I hope to continue to live that legacy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thanks to everyone. Thank you to President Rao, who just had to get off to take a call with a congressman. But I also want to say,
I'm back.
Oh, you're back. All right, there you are.
I did have to step out for a congressman, and it was a good call. Thank you.
Yes, sir. It's good to see you back. I also want to say congratulations to our 2020 Pacme Award winners. It can perhaps go without saying that we are in a time of global crisis. In fact, many have said that what we are experiencing in this moment in history in COVID-19, it is a once-in-a-lifetime phenomenon. I do certainly hope so. For many generations before ours, they too have had to confront crises in the form of global pandemics, world wars, calamities, and disasters. Yes, both human-made and natural. For many generations before ours, they have had to manage and negotiate the anxieties of their current circumstances and the uncertainties that come with the unknowns. And yes, for many generations before ours, they have had their values tested. They have had their beliefs interrogated and their convictions placed on trial, facing a prosecution armed with evidence of world despair and sickness, pain, and pandemonium. Yes, while this may be a once-in-a-lifetime phenomenon, we've certainly all been here before. But make no mistake about it, like the generations before us, we don't shrink or shy away from confronting enemies seen or unseen. Like the generations before us, we did not give way to our anxieties and fears and then capitulate to circumstance. And like the generations before ours, we don't give up on our values when they are tested. We don't waver in our beliefs when they are challenged. And we certainly don't say that we were wrong when history shows time and time again that when you stand up for justice and equality, yes, I'm talking to you, Teg, you, Miriam, you, Stavar, you, Henry, and you, Calvin. Yes, when you stand up for justice and equality, others will follow. And as others follow, then so too do the institutions that are designed to govern them. Therefore, VCU will continue to follow your lead in this global pandemic as our values as an institution are the core of the people who comprise them, which is each and every one of you. Thank you again today, President Rao, Archana, the selection committee, Corey, University Relations, Shanna, Flo, and to all of this year's nominators, nominees, and award winners. This now concludes our Pacme ceremony. Thank you all for being here today and joining us for the 2020 Pacme celebration right here at VCU. I wish all of you good health, to you and to your families, and we look forward to seeing you again next year. Take good care.